Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baluwo?
Baluwo? What is Baluwo?
Baluwo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baluwo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluwo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baluwo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baluwo, better than sending money.
Good morning to you all. Welcome to the press conference of the National Association of Gambian Nurses and Midwives. I am Usman Toure, the Secretary General and Chair to this conference. And first I would like to thank everyone for being here. It's part of national duty to ensure that the health and safety of the public is not put at risk by the deciders. On my right is the president of the association, Yusuf Sanyang. Next to him is the PRO of the association, Sana Dabo. Next to that is the auditor of the association, Famara Sanyang, the treasurer, Abdul Karim Fofana, and the assistant treasurer, Sajo Sambu. The rest of the committee are engaged on some other matters relating to the same activity. That is why they are not around. And we say a big thank you to the nurses that are here to make sure they represent their respective institutions. Since it is a press conference, we decide to put patient safety and care as the foremost priority and make sure that only a limited number are representing us. Thank you. Today's conference is a very important one, and I would like to give a brief background to the conference before inviting the President and the PRO who will be giving the remarks and also the press statement. This conference is about allowance increment scheme. You will be flabbergasted to know that these allowances are allowances that have been set even before I was born. They remain the same until I was born. I went through school and they still remain the same. And I am serving as a nurse and they are still the same. Imagine in the past, before 1991, allowances that have been pegged at, let's say, $100, $200, are still the same allowances that are being paid to some nurses. So I want people to know that this is not a fight for greed, but a fight for movement that is going to motivate nurses to stay working and committed to their responsibilities. In order to ensure this, remuneration is key. And this is not just my statement, but the first ever, the State of the World Nursing Report of the WHO has this statement: the education, leadership, and remuneration of nurses is very important in order to attain universal health coverage. On that note, I welcome you all here and invite the President of the Association, Mr. Yusufa Sanyang, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mr. Usman Toure, the Secretary General of the Association. And I just want to take this opportunity to invite the media and want to say we apologize for the late start due to some hitches. But thank you very much for honoring our invitation. And I think it's a national duty, as he rightfully said, and we want to thank you for the good job you are doing. So on that note, I just want to read a brief remark, welcoming remark, and later the PRO will give the press statement. So good afternoon. I say it is indeed a great pleasure to see you around, and I would like to express my sincere thanks to the press for their noble endeavor to contribute towards the development process of the country by way of ensuring that the citizens are well informed. And I once again say thank you for joining us. And we are here to share with the press and the general public some of the challenges we are facing as nurses in our efforts to provide quality healthcare to the Gambian population. As nurses, we have always formed the majority of healthcare providers and have been serving as the backbone of the health sector, as well as always being at the forefront of providing quality health care. Considering the important role we play within the healthcare sector, as well as forming the largest workforce, we have formed this nursing association that will represent our common interests without regards to nationality, race, ethnicity, creed, and religion. This we feel will enable us to effectively improve the working conditions within the health facilities and further contributes to improving the quality of healthcare delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, our association seeks to improve the welfare of nurses so as to have a well-motivated workforce that will provide quality services to the Gambian people. Our mission is to actively contribute towards the improvement of nursing practice that will bring about improved healthcare for the Gambian populace through the creation of conducive working environment that will contribute to the improvement of quality of life of nurses. The purpose of the National Association of Gambian Nurses and Midwives is to represent its members, always serve as their voices, and advocate for their rights. We play a vital role in healthcare delivery of the country. As nurses working in various health facilities, we are the ones at the front lines, providing hands-on care to the patients and giving the doctors the information they need to make decisions for their patients' care. We comprise the largest single component of health staff in the Gambia, and we are the primary providers of hospital patient care. And we deliver most of the care prescribed by the physician. As one highly educated individual said, you know it or not, if you walk into the healthcare system, you are going in to receive nursing care. So this is how important nurses are. And allow me to give this simple analogy of a football team to make people understand how important nurses are. If hospitals were a football team, nurses would be the whole defense and the offense. That means if you don't have a good strikers, you'll not be able to score your goal. And if you don't have good defenders, you'll not be able to defend yourself from conceding goals. So that's the state of nurses here. If you don't have a well-motivated nursing workforce, the population will not receive the quality nursing care, and the damage it will cause to the public will be irreparable. At the same time, that's why it is highly needed to motivate us to provide necessary care we have. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to quote a very important statement by the Executive Director of the Global Health Workforce Alliance, who recently said, "There is no health without a health workforce, and no workforce without nurses and midwives." So that means if they are absent, there will be no health force, because they are the ones there daily to provide the necessary care. They further stated that even in countries where there are woeful shortages of skilled health professionals, including midwives, nurses, and physicians, nurses are responsible for the care of the widest range of people and the widest geographic area, which is very definitely true of the Gambia. Any health facility you go in, you must find a nurse. No health facility can exist without a nurse or midwife being present at that facility. So given the vital position and crucial roles nurses play in the healthcare delivery setting, they must be given the necessary support to properly execute their functions. These supports include providing them with materials needed for patient care, good remunerations, educational opportunity, to mention but a few. Ladies and gentlemen, as nurses working in various health settings in the Gambia, we feel we need the highest level of support in our drive to provide quality health care to the Gambian population. For us to function effectively, we need sustained availability of materials to provide good nursing care, good motivational facilities in terms of training opportunities, a conducive and safe environment for patients, and above all, we need a good remuneration system. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be quite disheartening to know that despite the important status of nurses in this country, we are constantly affected by inadequate supply of materials to properly perform our duties, few training opportunities for us, and above all, a very few incentives. These factors are causing great demotivation to the nurses and are affecting the ability of the government to retain the necessary human resources, especially nurses. And this has always resulted in chronic shortage of nursing staff, which places a huge burden on the remaining few in our health facilities. Ultimately, the innocent patients cannot have the needed nursing care they deserve due to high patient-to-nurse ratio. These are some of the challenges that the association have been seeking to address through a series of dialogue with the Ministry of Health and relevant stakeholders, but the status quo remains. We therefore invite the press here today to share with them some of these challenges and our desire to ensure they are taken care of. I don't want to keep you waiting for a long time, because most of our demands are also included in the press statement. So on this note, I want to thank the media and all our nursing colleagues that are around. I thank you very much for gracing our invitation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Secretary General of the Association, Mr. Usman, and the President, and my fellow Executive Committee members, members of the press, nurses and midwives here present. Good afternoon to all of you. The National Association of Gambia Nurses and Midwives today, 26th April 2021, hosts a press briefing, a press conference, to call on the Gambia government to honor the request of nurses and midwives by accepting the proposed allowance scheme that was submitted to the Ministry of Health. Since November 2020, the National Association of Gambia Nurses and Midwives Association made a proposal to the Ministry of Health for the increment of allowances, which was rejected by the Personal Management Office. The association further raised the same matter with the Secretary General and Head of Civil Service, the Honorable Minister of Health. All means of the diplomacy were followed. On the instruction of the Ministry of Health, the new proposed allowance was developed. This was presented to the Ministry of Health, but all efforts by the representative of the NAGAM went futile. The reverse allowance scheme was proposed as a means of motivating nurses and midwives who had been sidelined by the increment of the recent allowance for the doctors and PhD holders, who do not provide direct hands-on care and does not work insoluble hours. Over the years, nurses and midwives have been struggling with the limited resources, minimal opportunities, to grow, lack of training opportunities, as well as poor remunerations. It is under these unsatisfactory working conditions that makes it very difficult for the critical caregivers in government services to continue providing quality and the highest amount of health services to the Gambian population. Due to the lack of motivational packages for nurses and midwives, the government of the Gambia continues to lose essential workers to private and diaspora. These have resulted in a chronic shortage of nurses and midwives in the Gambia. The current ratio of nurse to patient in this country is less than 1 per 10,000. 1 for 10,000 population, one of the worst in Africa. This affects most of the patients' outcome in irreparable ways. Ladies and gentlemen, this pandemic is a clear testament to the important role nurses play in our healthcare delivery system. Currently, more individuals are getting ill, with complications resulting in an overwhelming pressure on few bedside nurses available to deliver appropriate and quality care. Nurses and midwives work long hours caring for COVID patients, critically ill patients at intensive care units, maternity ward, renal dialysis units, and etc. They are always stretched beyond limits. Despite all this, the government of the Gambia continues to insensitive and inconsiderate of the tremendous sacrifice of these great health caregivers. Already, we have lost 2 of our colleagues to COVID-19, and many of them have contracted the virus in their line of duty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is disheartening to know that, it is disheartening to inform you that we, the National Association of Gambian Nurses and Midwives, usually have to pay for the health care services given to many of these nurses and midwives when he or she falls sick. Where is the consideration for the government, the consideration for nurses and midwives in this country? We gathered here today to express our dismay and lack of commitment and disregard of Gambia government to our plight and not fulfilling our request. Nurses and midwives of this great country are determined and committed to pursue this matter through diplomacy, through diplomatic means. And we are again ready to meet the highest authorities to discuss these important matters. However, negotiations cannot be forever. We need an urgent decision from the Gambia government to avert any future health crisis in this country. By this, we demand a final meeting from the government stakeholders on or before on the 28th of this month. If the government of the Gambia fail to respond to us, if the government of the Gambia did not hear from the nurses, if the nurses did not hear from the government of the Gambia on or before on the 28th of this month, the government of the Gambia will hear from the nurses. And the nurses will be on the front pages of the newspapers and the headlines of the news bulletins. Therefore, I thank you all. I thank the media and the nurses peer pressure.
Kasama, I'm the vice president. I decided to just sit behind, just to be part of the general members. So, talking about this shortage of materials, this is something that has been ongoing. Since we joined the health system, it's something that has become normal in the health system. The government doesn't really care. Ministry of Health does not care. Hospital administrations or hospital management, who we think will work with us, they don't really care. I'll take an example for myself. I have some of my colleagues here. I worked in the ICU and the accident and emergency unit. You come to work, you have one piece of glove, that you will use to give medication for the whole ward. You can have a patient of a ward of 15 patients or 20. You will use one glove to give medication. When you come to syringes, I was on night duties. We will go to the duty room. They will count how many patients do you have in your ward. For example, if you have 10 patients, they will give you 10 syringes, needle and syringe. I will use one needle and syringe for your 10 p.m. medication. I'll keep it for the 12 a.m. medication and keep it again for the 6 a.m. medication for one patient. I'll put you at risk, put the other patients at risk, and put myself at risk. Sometimes we work without gloves. I have cleaned a patient who messed up without gloves. My colleague is there, Sira. And what we got at the end of the month was they deducted $1,000 from our salaries because we could not have gloves to clean that patient. This is not just about saying what of the things that is happening. Mere oxygen, patients cannot have it. The energy you use running around the hospital to get resources is far more than the energy you put in taking care of the patient. That is what is happening all over the country. And when it comes to health equity in the Gambia, it's zero. Not everybody is equal when it comes to healthcare service in the Gambia. I've seen a couple of times, we have patients, they'll bring them into the ICU when they are not supposed to be there. The less privileged are dying somewhere when they need the service. But because you are from a high income or whatever class they categorize you, or you are from a VIP, either a minister also, they bring you there, or you will need a resource that is not available in the hospital currently, but it is in the store. Because you are a nobody, you are poor, you have no connection with anybody at the government level, nobody will come from their house to bring out that resources that you need. We are all human beings. But if somebody from the ministry of government, whatever sector, or you are part of the government facilities, heads or whatever, as long as you are considered as VIP, somebody will come out from their home, whether it's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., to bring out whatever resources you need and give it to you. But the lay person, who is a less privileged person, will not have that opportunity. So we lack gloves in the hospital. Medications are never available. Hospital beds are never available. So it's normal to go to a hospital in the Gambia without hospital bed seats. But whenever somebody is coming from the ministry or the president is coming around, our so-called leaders will make sure even A&E, the beds, will have bed seats, which I feel is cheating. That is not supposed to be done, you know.
Thank you.
So I would just, I'm so emotional. I don't normally talk like this, but I would just end my talk here.
My name is Landin Sise from Bukit Fatou.
Okay.
Regarding your last statement, that's where I'm going to do my reflection. Like the subsequent actions that you will be doing. What is it that you are planning for a sit-down strike, nationwide sit-down strike, if government does not adhere to your codes? And then secondly, we've seen other institutions will go for, or organizations will go for a sit-down strike. When they are sitting, the government will come and promise them that, you know, we will do this, and they will immediately resume work without the government doing that particularly. Would the Nurses Association and Midwives do the same thing if the government promised to honor your proposals?
That constant promise, that's what in fact prompted to this news conference. But I hope and I wish they will not accept. I think everybody in this country should also pray for them to listen to our demands, because you don't want us to reach that level or at a place where we have to resort to sit-down strike. If that happens, there will be a lot of health crisis in this country. So that's why now last day we said we give them this ultimatum, 28th of this month, that may be too late, before or before Thursday, they should respond to us. We are pursuing the line of dialogue as of now. But we said negotiation cannot be protracted forever. And if that happens, everybody will know that government of the Gambia is not committed to improving the health of this country. And when we resort to sit-down strike, the gains we have, the 20-year gains, we have may be reversed to 50 years. I tell you that. Because of the significant roles nurses play. If you go to, example, the Borderland village, what is the name? Where somebody is? Koina, you have a midwife there who is providing hands-on care. Example, if you bring a woman in abruptio placenta and she is bleeding massively, it is that midwife who have to intervene before he have the services of that doctor in Basse or any other place. So where there is no that midwife providing that services to arrest that woman's bleeding, give the necessary resuscitation, where will that midwife go, the woman go? You understand? So I think that's a food for thought for everyone and every citizen to know. Everyone can serve as an advocate for the nurses, for the government to listen to this demand. Because I know they themselves don't want to have a reversal of their gains. 20-year gain, if you sit down, you reverse, and you to regain that success also may take ages. Okay, so I hope I answer your question.
Word, you are saying that after 28, which is Thursday, the nations, the nurses will go for a nationwide sit-down strike, or what? Because I want to understand that statement. If you said a subsequent action will be taken, and then if the nurse in Koina is not, addressing that issue, meaning the nurse will not be working to address that issue, I want to understand that part.
Yeah, that's why I don't know whether I said, okay. I don't hope for the sit-down strike part for us to reach that stage. That's the responsibility. That the onus lies on them. They can avoid that.
So I'm saying, for example, after 28, if government did not respond to your request.
Yes, that depends. That depends.
We have to decide them.
Yes.
If the government did not respond, then notice will decide.
Thank you. You want to get a specific response?
Yes, a specific response, to be clear. Because one thing, like this is media. We are working in the media. Anytime we come with something like this, like you don't mention anything like a sit-down strike. If I, write something and my headline is the nurses to embark on sit-down strike, if government did not respond to their request, and then you people have all right to come and, refute the claim because you haven't mentioned it. That's why I'm asking whether after 28
we want
May.
to know what is the next line of action from the nurses if the day could elapse. That's the 28.
The 28.
What can we expect from you, the nurses?
That's fine. Thank you very much. I will give you a specific answer. We, as an executive committee, do not act on our own accords. We dance to the tunes of the people we lead. Before this day, there had been series of negotiations with this Ministry of Health, and the people that we lead have waited and waited, gone impatient, wanted to take action, and the only way of action would be a sit-down strike, but they heed to the advice of their committee. They trusted us with responsibility. If we fail on our ultimatum, then we don't have a choice than to let them decide on the action to take. And that, I strongly believe, will be a sit-down strike. If it happens to be another form of action, it is the members of the association that decides that. And they are stronger than us. The people that put you in position have the power, and you have the duty to serve them. And that is what we are doing. Thank you.
Agada.
Mbijan aganyadi.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyinji.
Okay.
Korsana.
Nsila ID soto.
Ah, sa soto. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya.
Ah,
mbare mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Ah, jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Ha, birim koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam ha Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol nko kodo kiya bele kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw jannom number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale le dadi ma ni domorol ni fana be teata Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
ni waka ni lafta nyelen kendol e bina
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosanolo
abaraka
We live in a day and age where technology is creating a world without borders, filled with unlimited potential to improve the lives of the people around us. Innovarex Global Health ushers in a new way of leveling the playing field with increased access to quality healthcare services delivered at your doorstep. Our qualified professionals are equipped with state-of-the-art point-of-care testing technology to conduct tests such as kidney function, liver function, electrolyte tests, body composition, hemoglobin, A1C, and many more services with the highest efficiency in delivering results. The addition to our flagship Wellness on Wheels, more fondly known as WOW Delivery Service, brings the entire clinical experience full circle. IGH has remained committed to creating the future of healthcare delivery. Gone are the days of sending loved ones outside the country for basic medical services. Innovarex Global Health offers a new peace of mind and takes pride in delivering the quality of care we all deserve.
When we touch down, better broke down.
Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
That's how she became mine and see that.